What do you know about him?
I know about him. He do different things.
He do different things like what?
Like do checkups.
Checkups. Oh, he do checkups. What type of checkups?
Like doctor.
Doctor checkups. That's interesting. Okay. What do you know about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? Yes, Michael.
He check people.
He checked people. You know that he checked people. Can anyone tell me if you know something else you would like to share? Is that Nyla? What do you know about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
He sings.
He sings. All right. She say she knows that he sings. In the back, what do you know? Wait just a minute. What do you know?
He read a book.
He reads books. Okay, what about you, young lady? He sings. Samarian, I see your hand up. What can you tell me about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? He checks people. Miracle, you got something for me? He actually sings. Anybody else have something different they would like to add? Nadia?
He take us to the store.
He can take you to the store, okay? All right. What about you? Say it loudly. I can't hear you. He helps us what? He helps some people, okay? We're going to take one more. And this gentleman here, Nathan, what do you know about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
He helps you.
He helps you. Well, we're going to learn a little bit about this man that you see on the book cover. His name is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. How many of you think that Dr. King is still alive?
He is.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
If you think he's still alive, give me one thumb up. Don't talk. Just give me a thumb. If you think he's not living anymore, maybe he's not alive. He's not living anymore. Can you give me a thumb down? Okay. Now, those of you who said thumbs down, you're correct. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is no longer living. So, for the next few weeks, we're going to learn a little bit more about this man and how he made a difference in our world today. We're going to learn about the life and the legacy. That means the life, how he lived, and the great things he left behind for boys and girls like you. I see. Now maybe we would get started. I say this is my favorite time of year because this is the time of year we get to learn about some very important people in history who have made a difference in how we live, what we do, and our culture today. And then one of the main ones that I would like to speak to you about, and that's because it's January, and that's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I asked you to talk in your groups and talk to your friends about what you know about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Who's ready to share now? I think Dallas, we're going to start with Dallas. Dallas, will you stand and tell us what you were discussing at your table about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? Speak loudly.
So, Martin Luther King died, so his son grew up as Martin Luther King, but he died too.
Oh, okay. Anything else you discussed at your table with your peers, Dallas? Okay, that's all you want to share? Anybody else at this table would like to share? What about you, Mr. Boyd? Stand up, Mr. Boyd, and tell me, what did you all discuss about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Well, it was 2,077 years ever since he died.
Ooh.
So his family died too because they tried to grow up as a president, but they died too.
Okay, all right. Now we're hearing it from our kindergarten students. This is our very first lesson on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And we would just like to know what our kindergarten students know about this great man. Layla, do you want to start at your group? And then we're going to hear from someone else. Layla, stand, please. Stand. Layla, come to the center. Please move. Layla's going to tell us what they discussed at their table. Layla?
He made books and he made sweaters and shirts and he write in the books.
Okay, all right.
Better than everybody.
We got some interesting tales about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Come on up, Chase, and tell me a little bit more about your table's discussion about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. What did you discuss at your table? Zora, come up and help him. Zora, tell me what you all discussed at your table.
Martin Luther King used to make shirts and put his face on it so they know it's made by Martin Luther King Jr.
Have you ever seen one of those shirts that he supposedly made? You have never seen them?
But I just heard of it.
Oh, you've heard of it. Okay, all right. Well, let's go to this table over here. Do we have anyone over here, Schofield? Come to the center and talk to us about what your group discussed as it relates to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Well, one day he didn't want to stay in the house anymore, so he went outside and went to the garden. And then one day, and then his children said they're bored, but he didn't have any money, so he made them their own toys.
Oh, okay. So are you saying that Dr. Martin Luther King was possibly a toy maker? Well, we're going to find out just who this Dr. King is. Is there anyone else at this table that would like to share? Come on and share with us about what you discussed about Dr. King.
Dr. King, went to the doctor with his mom and his dad. Both of them went to the doctor, and the doctor had helped them.
All right, you may have a seat. Well, there you have it. This is why we're studying.
He died a long time ago. He was a good man. He made books. And then these people how to be nice to God.
All right, thank you. Well, that takes us to our lesson that we're going to start. And that lesson will be Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., his life and his legacy. And this has been the beginning of a great learning opportunity for kindergartners at Rozelle Creative and Performing Arts Elementary School. Stay tuned for what you will hear at the close of this unit. Hello, we're back again today with a group of dynamic students from Rozelle Creative and Performing Arts Elementary School. As we are taking flight for our Dr. Martin Luther King celebration for the month of January, and we will move right into our Black History studies in February. It is always amazing and so very interesting to hear what our young people already know about some of our fabulous, strong, smart leaders who have made a difference. And we're going to start today by asking these young people for their first lesson to share what they already know about Dr. King. And they worked in groups, and in groups they took turns and discussed what they've heard about King, or what they've seen, or what they know. And these are the representatives from each group. And they're going to stand and share what they discussed in their group. And I think that we will start with Mackenzie.
Dr. Luther King was in jail because he was making crowds, and the police did not like that, so they took him to jail. And Dr. Luther King standed up with Rosa Parks.
Okay. Anything else you would like to share from your group, Mackenzie? Is there anything else you all spoke about?
Sure.
Stand, please.
We talked about how his world was, like the girls and the boys can share bathrooms. One was a white people bathroom and a black people bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And they were separate schools.
Wow. Okay. You had quite a good, extensive, long, good discussion in your group. Well, now we're going to move to Cameron. Cameron, why don't you stand and tell us what you discussed in your group?
So Martin Luther King was the first black person in town, and he wanted everybody to share the same bathroom and the same water fountains. So when he grew up, he wanted to be a speaker. So he marched for everybody, and then when he marched for everybody, and then the kids started marching, and then the police started putting like kids inside jail, and then until the whole jail stuff was whole full, and then dogs would start biting the kids, and then they put water, they blew water on the kids, and then they hit the kids with those black things, and then they start putting all the kids in jail until it was full.
All right. You had a lot of things to discuss at your group as well. You're hearing it from some of our spectacular first graders who are already up and ready. They know quite a bit about Dr. King. So it's going to be very interesting to see how much more they will learn when this 3-week unit is up. Now let's go to another first grader, Cadence. Why don't you stand and share with us what you discussed with your group at your table?
What I know about Dr. Luther King is that he was a friend of Rosa Parks, and he was a very great man. We all celebrate his birthday because he was a lifesaver. And when he died, we still celebrated his birthday. We love you, Dr. Luther King Jr.
All right. So we have 3 of our wonderful students who's sharing what they've been discussing at that table. And now for our final presenter, we're going to ask Charity to stand, and she will share what her group discussed about what they already know about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
So Dr. Luther King was doing something else. Then somebody told him something about something was going on about his house. And the white people were standing by him because the white people did not like the black people. So then he was running away because then one of the white people killed him, and then everybody went away. Then his wife and his wife, they were still in the house, and so it was a fire in the house.
All right, you finished? All right, so we have had some really interesting conversations about the life of Dr. King. And as we move forward in our discussion, in our lesson, we will learn more about the life and the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. One more comment and we're finished. Yes, ma'am.
Dr. King got shot on the balcony on the top of his house. The person who shot him was white. He did not have that much love in his heart. He wanted to shoot him because he wanted to be just like Dr. Luther King.
All right. Okay. So we're going to see how some of these tales and some of this history will unfold over the next 3 weeks. So stay tuned for part 2 as we move forward with our study on the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You've heard it from our superior, dynamic superstars of first grade. Thank you for listening.